A $369 million plan. A debate over South Bend's budget is still going on.
It directs spending for public safety, utilities, and salaries. WSBT 22's Hillary Powell is live at the County City Building. Hillary, raises really a hot topic tonight. Matt, thank you. Elkhart police say a man shot last week has died from his injuries. Police were called to a large fight at an apartment on Burr Oak Avenue Wednesday afternoon. While they were there, witnesses told them that 35-year-old Jarius Lewis was at the hospital with a gunshot injury. Officers arrested a relative on several charges, but are still looking for the suspects who shot Lewis. Anyone with information is asked to call Elkhart police.
Well, people in Sturgis say they're heartbroken tonight after a 4-year-old girl was mauled to death by a dog. Neighbors say they rushed to help Kiana McNeil. Friends say the family had just gotten a Doberman to replace another dog that recently died. They say the girl's mother frantically tried to pry the dog off her daughter. The mother is recovering from her injuries. Animal control removed the dog from the home.
A former Notre Dame grad student pleaded guilty to 2 counts of child pornography. 26-year-old Yusheng Sui was charged back in April. An investigator says he downloaded porn from an IP address registered to the university. Today, he pleaded guilty to 2 felony counts. He was also charged with child exploitation. A judge will take the plea under advisement at a hearing next month. Police releasing new information about the vehicle they're looking for in a deadly hit and run. They're looking for a dark-colored 2011 or 2012 Ford Escape that could have front-end lower damage. It happened on County Road 5 near County Road 2 early this morning. That's just south of the state line. Elkhart County police say 32-year-old Eric Pendleton was hit while walking along County Road 5. That caused him to fall into the northbound lanes where another vehicle hit him and drove off.
Well, the White House saying premiums will go up sharply next year for health insurance sold to millions of consumers through healthcare.gov. Premiums for a mid-level benchmark plan will increase an average of 25% across states served by the federally run online market. Administration officials say that despite the sobering numbers, subsidies will insulate most customers from sticker shock. They add that consumers who are willing to shop for a cheaper plan will still be able to find bargains. Sign-up season starts November 1st. Window shopping for plans and premiums opened up today.
The latest CBS News Battleground Tracker results show Hillary Clinton leading Donald Trump in a number of key states. Places like Arizona, Georgia. Now the latest CBS News poll finds a close race in Texas. Trump is up by 3 points in the Lone Star State, and in many states, many ballots are cast before that November 8th date. Up to 40% of the total votes cast nationwide will probably be cast absentee or early. In fact, in the battleground state of Florida, early voting has started now. 1 million mail ballots have already come in, and more than half the ballots will be cast early.
Election day, exactly 2 weeks from tomorrow. Early voting is yet to kick into high gear locally. Officials in St. Joseph County say things haven't been as busy as past presidential election years. About 7,800 people cast their vote already. Roughly 5,000 of those were in person, but absentee ballots are down compared to the past 2 presidential elections.
I'm not real sure if it's just the candidates themselves.
According to the Indiana Secretary of State's office, 200,000 more people registered to vote in this year's primary than in past presidential elections. Now, you can still request an absentee ballot. The clerk's office must have all requests by next Monday.
As you can imagine, Chicago Cubs merchandise flying off the shelves as the team gears up for Game 1 tomorrow night against the Cleveland Indians. By Four Winds Field, the South Bend Cubs reopened the Den so that local fans can get their team merchandise. The store doesn't have World Series gear in just yet, but workers say it should come in by tomorrow.
What happens there is
the Den is open from 10 to 4 all this week. Dick's Sporting Goods in Mishawaka says it is nearly sold out already of all of its World Series merchandise.
And local Cubs fans that don't want to drive can always take the South Shore. The train will offer an extra eastbound train that will run 90 minutes after the game's end. But people in South Bend will want to make sure you have a ride in Michigan City. The train will stop at Carroll Avenue.
The Cubs have kept fans in suspense for just 70 years. But for part of that history, a restaurant in Bridgman has been a paradise for those fans. The family business has passed along the love of the team across Lake Michigan since 1983. Thanks to that devotion, the Getaway Cubby Bar has seen an uptick, not surprising, with the Cubs making it to the World Series.
So exciting.
The Cubs enter enemy territory tomorrow night in Cleveland. Game 1 of the World Series starts tomorrow night over on Fox Michiana.
And want to know more about the Cubs and their quest for that World Series title? WSBT 22 will be broadcasting live from Four Winds Field in downtown South Bend tomorrow night. You're invited to join fellow Cubs fans, root on the team at the stadium, and be part of our broadcast. Don't miss Cubs in the World Series, Waiting a Century. That's tomorrow night at 7 over on Fox, Michiana. Hoosier native and former Late Show host David Letterman is paying tribute to well-known Chicago Cubs fan Bill Murray. The actor received the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. The celebration took place last night in Washington, D.C. Murray is known for comedic roles spanning TV and movies. Letterman and other comedians took the stage to salute Murray for a career spanning several decades.
One day.
Now, the actual broadcast of the Mark Twain Prize airs Friday night. New at 11, Mishawaka's Redevelopment Commission approving plans for the city to buy a former restaurant. Fire caused extensive damage to Papa Joe's back in August, and some details will still need to be finalized in the coming weeks before the purchase is final. The city would use the property as part of a plan to widen Union Street. City officials do not have a timeline or funding to start that project.
And Elkhart Elementary School's library is updating services and going beyond the printed page. Students at Mary Daly Elementary can do hands-on activities that revolve around technology, computer science, and robots. It's designed to teach teamwork, problem solving, and collaborating with others.
We wanted it to become.
The Elkhart Education Foundation paid for those upgrades. 13 other elementary schools will eventually receive the same changes.
Well, there's a new documentary on an Indiana native and Ebola survivor. It's called Facing Darkness. The documentary traces Dr. Ken Brantley's struggles during the 2014 West Africa outbreak. The Indianapolis native contracted the virus doing missionary work in Liberia. The movie is currently making the film festival rounds. It'll have a one-night-only showing next year. The Cinemark in Mishawaka plans to show on Thursday, March 30th.
An update about a massive drug take-back program over the weekend. Indiana State Police say they collected 1,400 pounds of unused or expired medication. Collection sites were set up across the state. It's the 12th year for this nationwide program. The DEA started it to curb prescription drug abuse.
Local police want to help keep your family safe this trick-or-treat season. Elkhart County Police will x-ray your candy. Just bring it to the Elkhart County Jail building on County Road 26. The Halloween candy scanning is available Friday, Saturday, and Sunday until 9 each night.
Well, it's been open since late August, but a local bakery is throwing a grand opening party tomorrow. Cops and Donuts took over the old Dainty Maid Bake Shop in downtown South Bend. The previous owner passed away back in February, but from 11 to 2 until tomorrow, you have the chance to get some free pastries and coffee. Mayor Pete Buttigieg will join the owner for a ribbon cutting there. There will also be an open house for guests.
Well, national food chains are cashing in on the World Series. Find out what deals some restaurants are offering.
And new developments in the Army. We have an update on how many soldiers are identifying with the transgender policy.
Live Look at Elkhart shows a quiet night. Temperatures today were a little on the cool side. We hit 56 this afternoon. 42 was the low. Relative to average, pretty close to where we should be. How the temperatures look the next many days, I'll tell you in your forecast coming up.